Hey, you've made it. We're in course number 3. This course is talking about designing your first value chain. This is the thing you're going to be selling to your customers. More importantly, the thing that's going to be getting you paid. So, if you're excited about getting paid, and you're excited about getting paid more than you would have been paid with the same amount of work, let's get started. So, you're hungry. You decide to whip into McDonald's. You want to get you some lunch. And if you're not familiar with what McDonald's is, it's this little restaurant chain that sells you really, really salty food that's really, really bad for you, but freaking delicious. Anyway, so you decide to pull into McDonald's and you go in and you're going to get you something to eat and you say, yeah, I'm not a whole lot hungry. I just want a little something. Let me get a Big Mac combo. Okay. And the lady behind the counter says, sure. Would you like to get a medium or a large? And you say, well, I'm a little hungrier than I thought I was. Let's go ahead and get the large. Okay, excellent, sir. Would you like an apple pie with that? Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that, but I would like an apple pie. Yeah, let me get an apple pie with that. Wonderful. And then they get your order. Now, you went in there with a quick idea of grabbing something fast, short, cheap, but she just took you from a $7 meal to an $8 meal and then added on another $2 pie. Now you're at $10. She got a 30% increase in her sales. This is called upselling. I think we've all ran into it at one point or another. If you haven't, maybe you've been to a car dealer where you went in and you just wanted a new truck and you wanted the basic version and you just wanted the simple. Look, I just needed to get work done. I need to carry dirt from point A to point B. It's on the farm. That's all I need. Okay, and then you ended up buying that brand new dually Chevy 2500, super deluxe model with the little TV screen that comes up and it's got the place to hide your firearms behind it, and you can put your beer in the back seat and it stays cold no matter what, all that magical stuff. It's got a little vibrator in the butt, all that stuff. But you didn't plan on buying it. Why did you? It's called upselling, okay? But upselling isn't as bad as people can make it out to be. Upselling is actually a good thing in a lot of ways if it's done ethically and it's done properly. Okay, and what do I mean by that? Well, first of all, it means that you're offering them something that they don't even realize they're going to need. Here's an example. I bought a new boat, okay? And I'm getting ready to go fishing in my new boat. And I wanted the cheap version. I wanted to save money. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of dough. I just want to go fishing. And the salesman tells me, hey, listen, this is great. This is your boat. This is what you want. Here's the price. He goes, but you may want to put an engine on the back, and I'm like, man, I don't want to spend all that money. I don't have all that. Okay, but going fishing is going to be a lot more fun if you put an engine on the back. Well, I got the oars. I'll be fine. I'll be okay. But sir, even if you put a trolling motor on there, you could save a lot of money and at the same time still have some benefit of a motor. No, I'm okay. I'll be fine. I'll just row. Now, anybody who's ever been out on a boat in a windy day in some choppy water and tried to row, you'll recognize that salesman was actually trying to look out for the customer. He's trying to give them something that is going to give them a much better experience and a much better use of the product that they just purchased. That's a little more ethical. He's trying to help them out. Look, you're going to need this. You may want to go ahead and get them life preservers. Probably going to be helpful if you fall in the water. Hey, you're fishing in Antarctica? You may want cold weather gear that's waterproof, okay? So there are things that come along with the products and services we offer that can actually enhance them. Now, does it mean that there isn't a place for somebody who wants to buy that lowest item and lowest priced item and that's just where they want to go? Of course not. That's perfectly fine. Whenever you get into business, a lot of times people get into a very entry-level training kind of program, and it's just enough to give you a taste of it to see if it's something you even really want to do without any major investment. All right. But if it is something you want to invest in, and it is something you want to do on a regular basis, and it is something you want to make part of your life, then it makes sense to go ahead and invest in more into that so that you can make your experience optimal. So we're going to go a little deeper into what this is for your business and how you can use this strategy and these techniques to kind of build this in your business, because we want to build up what's called your first value chain. What value are you offering to your customers, and how does it escalate? So we talked about McDonald's, right? Can you supersize that? Sometimes that's all they want to do, is they want to just make more money. That's it. They're just trying to upsell you. They want to make more money. They're in business. Who knew? Let's flip the script a little bit. You're in business. You want to get paid. you'd like to get paid more money. Do you know the one thing that I've never seen anyone really upsell in is the trade time for money plan, where you're just getting a job and you're going in and you're giving hours and you put up hours and then they put up money. You know, the only time I've seen that upsold is on overtime, and most of the time the bosses try to get their way out of that, right? I'm going to work over and above. I'm going to go extra. I'm going to give you more value. I expect a little more out of that. And then the boss, does everything in his power to get you to work just enough that he doesn't have to pay it, right? Yeah, well, we kind of do the same thing when we're the one who has to cut the check. Our goal is to provide a value that is so great that it helps our client or our customer actually improve the quality of their experience. That's the secret. We've got to increase quality and increase value, not necessarily increase price. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about increasing a value chain. So let's get into that. Have you been in that position? Have you been that person who's been upsold? Yeah, most of us have. I understand how you feel. A lot of people have felt the same way. But what we found is that in business, you can increase your sales with the McDonald's example by 30%. And just by offering something that might make them have a better meal or a better experience. So it's totally fine to feel how you do, but realize that as a business owner, your mission is to do two things. Okay, a lot of people say it's about making money. No, it's not just about making money. It's about GAFAB. Okay, give a flip about people. That's what it's about. Okay, and I'm stealing that from a friend of mine. But give a flip about people. I think she used a different word than flip, but I'm a nice guy. I don't want to do that today. So, but anyway, yeah, you got to care about your customers. You got to care about your people and what is the greatest value you can provide for them. And then when you have that, now you can start to build up levels of value that they're comfortable with, because really that's what it is. Your job is to simply share the greatest value you can with them and then offer it to them in various levels so that they can take advantage of it at the level they're comfortable at in their journey today. Generally, I recommend for beginners a 4-part value chain. Okay, so you can do more, you can do less. Some people do a lot more, some people do a lot less. It's just whatever works, but as a beginner, this is a good starting point, and that's what this course is for. This course is for the new digital marketer trying to get started in the game, trying to overcome some hurdles, trying to even figure out what your value chain is, and I want to be able to help you be successful as quickly as possible. So I recommend doing a 4-part value chain. Now here's what those 4 parts are. Free or minimal, a single, and then level 2 is tens, and level 3 is hundreds, and level 4 is thousands. So before we dive into what each one of those means, the first thing we have to do is consider what is the greatest value that I can provide to my customer. If money was no longer an issue and nothing else mattered, they could just get whatever they wanted, what would be the best optimal experience for them with your services and your products, for the solution that you're solving in their niche? Okay, whatever that is. For an example, I'm going to use a buddy of mine, Dave Sharp's program is called Legendary Marketer. If you've been in my other classes, you may have heard me mention it. I'm a big fan of his, and I'm a big fan of what he does because he helps a lot of people be very, very successful in life. But anyway, in his program, he does a very strategic value chain. And the first value he offers is just introduction. It's not about the money, okay? It's about, hey, take a look at this. See if this is something that's even something you might want to do. A lot of the people watching this video, you yourself may have done that $7 training or 15-day business challenge that Dave Sharp's Legendary Marketer program offers. If you have, congratulations. I hope you enjoyed it because I know I sure did. And it's very, very valuable. And I'm coming at it not as someone who's blank in business, but somebody who's got a doctorate in business and has had multiple businesses that have been successful. And I made $1 million, my first $1 million before I was 26. Didn't get to keep it all, Uncle Sam, but I did it, and. Anyway, so I was looking at it from a very different perspective than the average person, but I can tell you this, I found it to be very, very educational, very informative, and that some of the greatest value that comes out of that program is not even something that he really pushes well, in my opinion, but it's very, very valuable, and I'm going to get to that. So from there, what Dave does is he takes and he offers and he starts discussing what's called business blueprints. And his business blueprints are a really cool program. I go into business blueprints in my last course, but I generally don't go very deep, honestly. This is for beginners level. I don't want to overload you. So I did cover several different blueprint models that you could pick from to kind of dive into and research, and kind of explored what each one was and the benefits of them. But Dave offers about 4 different blueprints that he has personally used and done that have proven to be very, very successful. And he has extensively covered them and how to do them and how they work and why they work, and really breaks those down for you in his blueprints training. Now, this is incredibly valuable. Okay, ridiculously valuable, and to be quite honest with you, is worth thousands and thousands of dollars in my opinion, because it can keep you from wasting those dollars trying to explore and discover those things yourself. Could you go that route? Sure. But could I build a boat from the ground up? Absolutely. Do I want to? Hell no. I want to just buy one by a professional who's already done it, because my life's on the line. I want it to go the best it can go. So I want to go to the pros and I want to see what they're doing, and that's what I'm going to do. But he offers that program, and it's a little more expensive. It's like $2,500 or whatever. And then there's even more where you can go and learn with him live, one-on-one in coaching, and and that's in the thousands of dollars. So you do get to hang out at a really cool, rich, multi-million-dollar mansion for a couple of days on a beach usually. But hey, you get what you pay for. So, but anyway, so that's kind of how his value chain goes up. Now, what is the best value he offers? Sitting with him, having a cup of coffee, and discussing and picking his brain for all of the things that he's done to build a $200 million company. That's the most value he can offer, but he knows that that's the one thing that takes the most out of him. It takes the most for him to do. So it's going to cost more money to do that. That doesn't mean everybody is going to do it or even needs to do it. If you're just getting started, you probably don't need to do that level yet. You don't need to go fly down to Orlando and sit with Dave for 3 days. Sure, it'd be great, but it's probably not the best thing for you yet. But if you've kind of decided, or you're narrowing down your niche, and you're like, okay, I got where I want to go with this. How's the best way to get to them? Okay, well, I think it might be affiliate marketing. How do I do that? Well, now maybe I really, really, really want to learn and study what affiliate marketing is and how to do it, and the effectiveness of that business blueprint model. Then that blueprint thing might be for you. So you see how this kind of elevates and escalates, but it's not about making more money. It's about creating a greater value for your client, the perfect value for your client, and then trying to discount down as much as you can to make it as affordable and as realistic for where that person is in their journey. So what could this look like for you? Let's say you don't want to create products. Maybe you're just going to be an affiliate marketer and you just want to market other people's products and services. Okay, well then let's look at your niche first. Okay, start with your perfect customer. What is the greatest value you can provide for your perfect customer? Let's say you're in the pet business. You're in the pet niche and you want to market pet products for people. Well, ultimately you want to make their life easier. You're trying to make their pet's life better, and make a little living as well. There's nothing wrong for that. That's why you're involved, is you want to gain something too. So how do we do that? Well, the first thing we offer is maybe a $7 box, BarkBox membership maybe, or something like that. And BarkBox is a pretty cool company. I'm not an affiliate for them. My wife loves them and my dog loves them, but and they send out a little thing once a month, and I don't even know what it costs. I think it's around $7 to $10, but they get a couple of toys in it and all that. And my dog just got him a new Blockbuster videotape squeaker toy that he is destroying Blockbuster. I think my dog's a Netflix fan. Anyway, but he loves, and that's it. Well, then we also, would take and say, okay, well, there was my $7 or my single, my entry level thing. I might even offer a free toy for someone who wants to get into the BarkBox program or whatever. Well, then I also offer some coaching or training, not necessarily for the person, but for the dog, like dog training, how to teach your dog how to poop outside, not in the house, stuff like that. And that's a little more intense. It takes a little training, a little time, learning how to do it. There's some videos you got to watch. Well, that's something that you might market for $100 or $200 or whatever it is. but it's definitely more valuable because now not only is your dog going poop outside, which makes the owner's life easier, but he's also being treated better inside, because let's face it, when a dog goes in the house, a lot of times they get yelled at and they get a text, so it makes their life miserable. So now you're really increasing the value of what your dog's life can be like and what your perfect customer's life can be like. And then we say, okay, well, now if you really want to do this right, now listen, we have a regular grooming service. We can come out to your house and we can we'll give your dog a bath, and we'll paint her nails, and we'll put her a little bow in her hair, and we'll make her smell like strawberry daiquiris, whatever it is. But that's going to take a lot more. So that's in the hundreds of dollars. But if you buy it for the year, it's only $1,000, and we'll come out once a month, and Now you've got something that you're increasing value. Not only are you providing a basic service that's available to them, but you're building on your value chain. So first thing to build that value chain, let's talk about your niche. Your niche is going to determine your value chain. Building your value chain, think about it backwards. A lot of times we think about what is the first free thing I can give? What's something a little better I can give? What's something a little better I can offer? Don't do that. Think of the perfect solution to the problem that you have found your niche and your perfect customer has. Once you have that, now think of the perfect solution. And that solution we want to put the highest value on, whatever it is, and then whittle it down from there. I can at least get you this, or I can at least get you this. Let me at least get you this. Okay, dude, just try this. All right, here, it's on me. Something like that. And now build your value chain backwards. Try it. I bet you're gonna like it. Value chains are actually a pretty simplistic concept. We're all pretty familiar with them, but how you want to do it is definitely the key here. That's what we're trying to get, is to take your highest value, your highest, best service you can provide to your customer, and then back it down and do it in the thousands for your highest, down to your hundreds, down to tens, and down to free to singles like $7 or $6 or $5 or whatever. Okay. And when you do that, you're going to find that you have something you can now market to your clients. But here's how you take that and actually leverage it for your business. Okay, so the first thing you want to promote when you're promoting on social media is that free item, or that $6, $7, $8, whatever, that single dollar, less than $10 item. Okay, whatever it is, your lowest valued piece to the puzzle that still taps into solving the solution for your customer. And that's what you're going to market on social media. You're not going to worry about all the other stuff. You're just going to talk about that, because that's the entry level for your client, for your customer, that's going to get their attention. Now, it needs to be something of value. It can't just be anything. Let me tell you, one of the biggest mistakes I see in digital marketing right now is people that are trying to get involved are being told by a lot of the gurus, just make some ebook. You can go to ChatGPT and create some ebook with basic bullet points on something and give it away for free for their email. And I'm not saying there isn't any value in those things, but it's very low value. And let me tell you why. Anybody can get it. It's supply and demand. Okay. Anybody can go to ChatGPT, type in that question, and get it. The difference is you may know how to do it. All right. And the real reason you know how to do it is because you listen to some coach tell you how to do it. All right. Unless you're a tech guru, odds are you didn't even know that ChatGPT even existed. So using those kind of techniques is fine, but honestly, it's very low value, very, very low value, and it's just cheap, in my opinion. I would rather know about you. I would rather know about the person who is recommending something to me. I want to have something that they have personally invested in themselves and personally worked on. And I don't say invested as in put money in. I say invested in as put their time, energy, and effort in for their own personal gain. That's the kind of thing that is going to get your customers' attention. That's the kind of thing that is going to get your clients to invest in you. But honestly, before you can even do that, you've got to give them value for nothing. Okay? You've got to create content that educates and entertains. My buddy Dave Sharp, he talks about edutainment. We want to make sure that we're giving something that is educational for our client that they can benefit from and help solve a solution without any investment, but at the same time, it's entertaining. You got to make it fun, so that way they stay engaged and they're interested in you. And now they know that you're actually involved in helping them succeed and that you're serious about what you're doing and you're not just trying to make a quick buck. So now we have that kind of model going. We want to make sure that entry level product or service, whatever it is, that low dollar item is valuable to them. okay? And I want you to really consider what that is. And then that is what you're going to trade for their email address, and they go to a ClickFunnels and you get their email address, and then they get that first item, and they're in that value chain or that ClickFunnels, process. And from there, we have two avenues. One, while they're going through your products and services, you want to be making sure that as you're presenting or delivering one product or service, you're also referencing and discussing and sharing the next level of product that may make their life better or easier. It may create greater value for them. And not necessarily sales pitching it, but also honestly just providing a greater value by doing this, and this with your customer or your client. Now, there's another avenue that we would go from off of that, which is an email chain backlog, but we'll talk about that in just a second. As we're going up the value chain, each time they hit that next level, we're going to continue to do what we were just saying. We're going to make sure we give him an introduction to the next level of value and let them know what it is. Anybody who's ever been involved in a website, sometimes it's frustrating. It's like, man, I just wanted the first thing. Stop asking me for other things. No. And honestly, that's where it becomes pushy and it gets offensive to a lot of people. So what I do personally, what I recommend, you have that next level, you offer it, you let them know what it is. And if they say no, the answer is no. I don't go past it. I don't, some salesmen are like, the Wolf of Wall Street, push them, that kind of thing. And then if that's your style and that's your thing, go for it. And you may make more money. But for me, I want clients that one, respect me and that want to come back to me. And they want to continue doing business with me because I am the authority in the thing that they have the biggest problem with. That's my mission. It's not necessarily everybody else's mission, and it may not be yours, but that's the way I recommend doing it. So you've gotten their email, they've entered into the chain, they're going up that route. There's potential for them to purchase more and higher value items, which increases your value and your sales. But what about the people who didn't? There's something that we don't want to leave them hanging. Some people just need more time to make a decision. They need to see that what you're giving them the first time is working, and then they'll maybe consider going in further. If you're not seeing a lot of people advance or come back to you after they've gotten into your program, then they're not gaining the value that you told them they would get. And it doesn't mean the value isn't there. It means they're not leveraging it or they're not taking advantage of it. And now you are no longer an authority because you can't be trusted, because what you told them was value, they're not seeing the value. We have to do a couple of things to help them. One, we can help them overcome that and see that value through what's called autoresponder emails. Okay, so some people will use like System.io or maybe ClickFunnels 1.0 or maybe even build your own website, however you do it to get the emails. That's one thing. But in those, some of them have inclusive email responders. If they don't, you'll see a lot of people rely on a website called Aweber or something like that, where it's an email responder. And there are several on the internet. Just go Google auto email responders. I personally like to use a company called ClickFunnels. I use their 2.0 service. I'm an annual member because it's a little more expensive, but it's very inclusive. And I get all of my email marketing, all of my products. They manage all of my store. They manage all of my ClickFunnels, all of my website, all of that in this one platform. And to be quite honest with you, it's far more valuable to me to do it there in one place than to try to bounce around to 20 different places and try to keep up with it. But again, it's not the bottom dollar item on the market. So it just depends on what you need and where. But what that email autoresponder does is you set up specific emails on a daily basis or a weekly basis or a monthly basis, however often you want to do it. I generally do it for about 3 weeks straight. Every day I'm sending them an email. I know some people that do it for 2 and 3 years every single day. I do it for about 3 weeks. And the first 6 or 7 emails that I personally send out are emails that are designed to tell them about me, tell them about what I do, why I do it, how I do it, and how I can help them, and why it's important to them. That's generally all I'm worried about. I just want to get to know them a little better, and more importantly, I want them to get to know me on a more personal level and understand what my mission is and how, if it's something that can honestly help them. It may not be, and they may unsubscribe, and that's okay, because I'm not looking to help everybody. I'm looking to help the perfect customer, a perfect client for me. Then I go into maybe 1 or 2 of my value chains again, and I'll start coming back to them and I'll say, listen, I know you did this and that's great, but if you'd like to come back and consider this, then this may be for you, and here's why. And I'll give them some reasons that this might be more valuable to them. then as each one of those email chains kind of go out, what I do personally is if I have other products or services that I feel maybe something they might be interested in, that I'm an affiliate for, then I'll do the same thing for that. But over time, then I generally whittle it down to about every 2 weeks, and then maybe once a month, and then eventually I just leave them alone. Okay, but about once every 6 months or once every quarter, I have an email chain that I like to send out that it kind of reactivates those relationships a little bit, just to say, hey, is it time? If not, that's understand, but hopefully this is something that you might be interested in now may be the right time, and then I can continue to grow. I know a lot of people in this industry who are making 80% of their business money or their revenues or their income off of their emails rather than off of the initial social media content that they promote and market online. So relying on your email marketers and autoresponders as well as a way to push your value chain in front of your potential customers who have already shown some sort of interest via emails, or to new customers who have just saw you on social media and want to know more about you. So you have a couple of different ways to do it and to leverage that value chain. But to build that value chain, let's just kind of recap, go back, look at what is your very most valuable thing you can provide to solve a problem for your customer, and then break it down from there into shorter and shorter and shorter and smaller amounts until it's something that they can actually afford and still gain good value from. Hey, listen, I'm telling you, this is not as hard as you think it is. It may seem complicated, but when you just take your time and break it down one step at a time, you can get it done. You know, I believe it was Sun Tzu who once said that the greatest journey starts with the smallest step. Well, maybe your first step is simply just click and play on the next video. I hope so. I'm going to talk to you about some more cool stuff in the next one. So what's the end solution? The end solution here with this training is to first build your value chain. Okay, once you have your value chain built down and you know what you're going to market and you know how much you're going to charge for each one, you want to set it up to where making sure that each one of those levels provides value to your perfect customer. Now, once we have that, the one that requires the absolute most effort, it's the greatest value, that's at the top. Okay, and that is the most expensive thing because it costs you the most to deliver that. All right, but it also has the greatest value for your customer and your client. Realize not every client is ready for that. Okay, some are just testing the waters. They're just seeing if this is something they even want to look into. They're basically evaluating if you are as valuable to them and their problem as you say you are. The next thing is you want to market at the bottom end of that something free, something low cost, something, and like I said, the ebook, a lot of people are big in that. I offer my first training course module free, okay? And because I believe it is incredibly valuable, but it also helps people gain some direction into which niche to even go into. Let me tell you a secret. When people go into digital affiliate marketing, number one thing that they usually ask right off the bat is, what niche should I go into? And nobody really has a solid answer for that. A lot of times they're just the coaches and the gurus and people are like, I'm not sure, just whatever you like, whatever you love. Here's some good ones. Go Google it. Those kind of suggestions are fine, but they're not very effective because they don't tap into what you're gifted at, what you're blessed to do, what you're knowledgeable about, and what you're passionate about. So you want to make sure that you're building up something of value for that perfect customer that you can give to them in trade for their email. Okay, that is the first layer of your value chain, their email address, because that allows you to continue the conversation with them. They're at least saying, yeah, I'm willing to continue to listen to you. I still want to, I'm not sold, I ain't buying anything yet. I'm willing to continue listening. That's what that is. And if you can't get that, then you've got a whole bigger problem that you got to deal with first. Now, after all this is in place, we want to make sure that we're promoting the first layer to get their email, but then offering them greater value on every step that goes up. We're simply sharing a more valuable thing for them. And it's not valuable to us. It's not higher cost. It can be. It should be. But it's more valuable to your client. It's all in your perspective of how you treat it when you build it. Then it's just about sharing it. You're not selling anything. You're sharing value. I hope that this video has helped you. And I hope that you're starting to see some ways that you can maybe go further into your business and build up this digital marketing business for yourself. However you're doing it, whatever business model, whatever blueprint, whatever your perfect niche, I guarantee you want to have a value chain that creates great value for your customer. It has to solve the problem that is hurting them the most with your solution. Hey, once again, I just want to say thank you for making it to the end of this video. You're doing a great job. There's only a couple of more left in here, and they'll get you over some of these beginner hurdles. And I hope, and I'm excited to see where you go with your business. I hope that I can help you and be better of service for you. And I guarantee you that I believe the next video is going to have even more value than this one. Have a great day.